Most companies, even some progressive companies, are still sort of focused on driving individual performance instead of moving toward systems that drive team performance. I know in my years of experience in business, all I've ever done is drive individual performance, and that processes and tools supported that. When I think of when an employee understands what they're responsible for achieving and how they're doing against that, what kind of feedback they're getting all year long, and then when you get to the year end, what kind of compensation they're getting for it and how that compensation is allocated, all driven toward that individual. And yet, individuals don't operate in a vacuum. Companies are driven by groups of people coming together to deliver specific outcomes. And you have to start shifting that world, that paradigm, toward driving a team set of goals, a team set of feedback. And probably the most important one, and probably the hardest one to do, is some kind of team reward at the end of the year. I remember when I was working for a retailer, we had intact teams of people who created product. We had a designer who created the design. We had a merchant who tried to make it commercially viable. We had inventory management people who decided how many of that garment would show up in an individual store or location. And then we had production teams who would go overseas to source the product. And they actually all worked together to, as an example, create this shirt. But when it came to rewarding them, they all got rewarded individually. How does that drive a team? It doesn't. And what you need to start thinking about is changing that paradigm so that the team creates team goals, the team gets team feedback, and the team gets rewarded based on how each individual contributes to the team outcome, not to the individual outcome. It's really the place we need to go to in order to drive effective team performance.